philosophy on dating apps is that you should be on them. We want to expand our surface area for luck and love.
Curate a profile that is as authentic as possible, that deeply resembles the life you're actually living. Faking your profile is only going to lead to other fake people. It's that simple. What you are is what you will attract.
If you have some kind of fry cook at the Krusty Krab in your profession, take it out. Please, I'm gonna cry. I'm so passionate about this one. The ick I would experience when I saw people joking about what they did professionally, especially for men. It's not funny. It's giving broke.
Dating is not terrible. Dating is not a struggle. If you're just you, it's the facade that both sides are playing that causes all this friction.
Because nothing is more attractive than someone who loves their life. To the point where our cup is so full that we are not going to be going on dating apps at 10 p.m. and swiping out of depression and then being like, why isn't it happening for me? Because we're not doing our best to make it happen.
Women put their entire LinkedIn resume on the Tinder. Yale grad, this year at this company, does this, is this, and that. Men don't care about that.
Welcome back to Listen Before Love. We are back again, my favorite and sweet.
Sorry for this one. As always.
This one's going to be really, really fun because what we are so excited to talk about today is how to make dating fun. Listen, y'all. We have heard from way too many people about the anxiety, about the stress, about the burnout, about the never-ending revolving door of dating apps. And, I've deleted Hinge 6 times this year and it's only January something. So we've heard way too many of these horror stories. And we are here as the dating Avengers to come back into this situation and make it a fun, good time. So we are going to put you on some game in this episode, y'all, and share with you some of the things that Cam and I did while we were dating that made it a really fun experience. So how do you feel about this topic, baby?
I can't wait. I feel like we all need to hit like the pause, breathe a little bit, and then reset button on the dating game as a whole. And yeah, I think this episode will really just discuss everything a person can do to just revitalize their dating life and give themselves hope in finding their person again.
Heck yes. So where we're going to begin is on a somewhat controversial topic. We're going to bring you through the whole dating landscape with like little nuggets and tips and advice throughout every stage. But where we're actually going to start is with the dating apps. Now, the dating apps get a lot of flack because people will say, it's just the endless, infinite scroll of optionality and people don't want to commit, they don't want to settle, and my matches end up being people I'm not interested in, they always fizzle out, all the dates are terrible. We understand your pain. We hear you, we see you, we get you, but we are here to offer you a different perspective, a more positive, uplifting perspective on the dating scene that makes you light up like a Christmas tree, thinking about how your person is not only out there, but they are also looking for you. So let's start with dating apps. Our philosophy on dating apps is that you should be on them. We want to expand our surface area for luck and love. And this does not just extend to romance. We want you to be as many places, meeting as many people as you can, because you are signaling to the universe your readiness. By being on these apps, you're making a bold declaration that you are ready for the next chapter of your life to find your person, to find your lover, to find your one. So when people ask me, what do you think about the dating apps? Is there any possibility I can get it without them? We love any opportunity where you get yourself out there saying, I'm ready for love, baby. That is our stance.
Most definitely. Let me reel it back in a little bit.
Sure.
To make sure that we understand the whole dating apps, and also just life as a whole while you're trying to date. Dating apps are a great tool, but they can't be the only tool in your toolbox. If your entire life is just work, go home, gym maybe, and dating apps, good luck. Good luck finding your person. If I had to tell a long story short of what I would say to someone who wants to prime themselves to finding their person, or attracting their person more likely. That's a better way of putting it. It is time to create a life that you love, doing the things and being the person you've always wanted to do and be. And that is the best way to find your person. If you find some coffee shops you love to go to, if you find some yoga classes you love to go to, even if it's a run club, whatever your cup of tea is, hiking or doing some things with work, whatever is going on, creating your dream life that isn't just go to work, then go home. When you add more things that allow for you to be in the public, and especially if you're in events, clubs, whatever they may be, that attract a certain type of person, that is going to 10x, 100x, 1000x your chances of finding your person. Like you're saying, the surface level area that we're exposing ourselves to expands when we put ourselves in situations that we genuinely enjoy. The problem is when they hear, okay, I got to do dating apps, so I got to be more visible, they sign up for things they don't actually like.
Mm-hmm.
And they're surprised they attract people from those things they don't actually like.
Yep.
People in general are meant to live their life to the fullest. So what would your dream week be? What would you just enjoy doing? Because how we found each other, of course, we're a little bit different, but also the same. I was doing what I wanted to do. I was going to hot sauna and cold plunge, and you were going to a yoga class, sound bath class, whatever it was. And we just so happened to find each other in the right room. That's just how it's naturally going to happen if it's meant to be that way.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just living your life to the fullest for yourself and trusting that you'll be put in the right environments, around the right people that'll guide you towards your person is the best way of going forward. The problem is right now, people are betting their entire hand, putting all their chips on the table of dating apps.
Mm-hmm.
And no wonder why you have a love and hate relationship with it. Now, a lot of these apps, actually I would say all of them, are geared to keep you paying them money to get that monthly membership, to get those little tokens or coins, whatever it is, to get more swipes or to send a super like, whatever it is. Yeah, they're hacking your brain, and just like social media, just like all those other apps. It's just a different segment of social media. If you want to look at it that way, you definitely can. If you want to utilize it as such or have it utilize you as such, you can. Or you can look at it as a tool, which is exactly what it is. If we can create boundaries around how we use it and tell ourselves we're going to hold ourselves to a high standard of how we are going to create a profile, how we're going to engage with people online in that way. If we can create standards and values around it, we can have a really enjoyable experience, and we can pick out the needle of the haystack on Tinder, on Bumble, on Hinge that are the good ones. I'm not saying they're going to be a person, but will lead to high quality dates.
Mm-hmm.
So that being said, understanding that we need to hold ourselves to a higher standard and you start by living the dream life we want to live and trust that the right people will come in. But on social media in particular, on Tinder, Bumble, Hinge in particular, what comes to mind for you and what you'd recommend people do to optimize for the highest quality connections?
Okay. I first want to say I love what you just said, and I invite everyone right now listening to this to imagine that dating apps are a tool that get you reps, that get you steps down the path to your person. Now, every single person who you match with, you go on a date with, we're not imagining, oh, now it's it. This is the person. This is it. No, we actually want to use dating apps as an abundance reminder, as an abundance tool. There are so many people out there who meet our preferences, who look great on paper, who we will allow to, if we're women, take us out on dates, who we will allow to plan amazing experiences for us, who we will allow to put us in a position where we can speak our truth and know and follow our feeling and follow our heart and know what we want, how we want to be treated, how we want to show up in love. This is what dating apps can be used for at their best. They are a reminder of the abundance of really good, high quality men and women out there. That's just where we need to start. Now, are they the end all be all? No, We do not want to see them as the one and only tool in the toolkit. The toolkit has many tools, and I just want to emphasize that because if you are using dating apps as the one and only thing you're doing, you're going to your 9 to 5, then you're going to the gym talking to no one, you have your headphones in, and then you're using dating apps, you're going to hate dating apps because you are going to see it as the one tool you have that's not working. That is when we get this very angry, resentful relationship with dating because we're putting all of our eggs in one basket that's not coming into fruition. Now, how do we solve that? We need to really listen to what this man just said about creating a life that really lights you up and that really fills your cup, because nothing is more attractive than someone who loves their life. That energy, when you have a full cup, when you know yourself enough to know, I want to join a kickball league, that sounds fun to me, or I want to do ceramics class, or I want to go on a weekly walk for meaningful conversations. Ha ha ha, plug. Or I want to start painting in my free time. I want to join a women's circle. There are different strokes for different folks, and there are so many different strokes we got here. These are all tools. These are all things that allow us to pour back into ourselves to the point where our cup is so full that we are not going to be going on dating apps at 10 p.m. and swiping out of depression and then being like, why isn't it happening for me? Because we're not doing our best to make it happen. Unless we are living first and foremost in the way that Cam just said. Now, if you can look at yourself and say, I've created a life that lights me up and I'm on the dating apps, then it's just a waiting game. I just want to assure you in this moment, if you are creating this life that lights you up and you are pouring into yourself and you are becoming the person you want to be with, and you have dating apps as a tool, it is simply just cobblestone steps to your person at this point. And I know that might be hard to keep the faith, to keep yourself in your radiant energy and to say it's going to happen for me, because in absence of our desire being right in front of us, we start to doubt whether it exists. I get that. Trust me, I was there as well. But I am here to tell you, if you are doing everything we're talking about on these first stages, things are looking fantastic for you, and you are way ahead of the game versus most of the people we've seen and we've talked to. I'll tell you that right now. So clap, clap, please take your flowers, take your applause, because you're doing an amazing job. So now let's move ahead to once you've taken care of that first step, which is creating a life that fills you up. Only you know what that looks like, but we gave you some ideas. And feel free to share them with us. And we love to hear that. That sounds, we would love to be just like bombarded with all the goodness of that. But let's move on to dating apps. So how do you make dating apps fun for you? Like Cam mentioned, we want to use it as a tool, and we want to use it with firm boundaries. We want to use it in a way that empowers us, not distracts us, in a way that makes us feel good about ourselves, not makes us be like, oh, wait, well, did I use this right picture? Maybe if I change this one picture, then maybe I'd get more matches. No. We are going to go on the dating apps. We are going to pick out, maybe with some help of friends, our 10 best photos that make us feel really good. We're going to have a mix of photos here, okay? We're going to have some photos. We have to have one with teeth. This is important. Smiling, more of like a headshot kind of a thing, where someone can clearly see your face. We always also want these photos to be within the last year, okay? Anything further back than that, unless it's a really funny photo, we want to have the recency here because we are not trying to catfish anybody. And we're not trying to be accused of any of that weird stuff. And trust me, that happens a lot more than you think. We do not want to be sneaky. We do not want to try to trick someone into dating us, and then we show up and then they're not attracted to us. We want to use dating apps in the most empowering way, which is the most truthful and honest way. So what you feeling like you reacting to this? Tell me.
Especially after COVID, the amount of times I went fishing and got a tug, and I'm like, oh, it's going to be a beautiful dolphin. I'm so excited for this. And you keep pulling, and you get to the first date, and you finally get that fish, that mammal, whatever it is, out of the water.
Not the mammal.
And you realize it ain't no dolphin, it's a whale.
No.
I swear to you, please use pictures that are recent. Not pre-COVID, and now, well, you gotta get your stuff together, lifespan. We get it. Please give an accurate depiction of who you are. It's going to save everyone time, save everyone feelings, save everyone emotions.
And it's going to save you anxiety. Let me tell you a quick story about this because, and I know we're harping on this, but this is really important. This is also something that we have seen so many times. Back when I was dating, this would happen probably once every 3 dates. I would go on a date with someone who did not look like their photos. And I think this is why we're trying to really reinforce this. We want to set you up for low anxiety and high happiness. This is where this advice is coming from. I had gone on this date with a guy who had a really great personality. He was an engineer at Google, really had a lot of things I was looking for. And I show up to this date and he had planned this beautiful dinner and Frisbee. And I'd never played Frisbee before. And he like bought a Frisbee on Amazon to go play with me. And I show up and this man is easily 50 pounds heavier than his photos. That's a significant amount of weight. And we're playing a physical sport, right? So I'm in my cute little athleisure fit. And this man, as he's throwing the Frisbee, like his shirt's lifting and I can see his beer gut, to be honest with you. And I just felt lied to. Like I just felt in a weird way deceived and like I had been tricked into going on this date with someone who, lovely person, great personality, but attraction is important. We cannot deny, we cannot try to play tricks on people where we're going to put these photos that are heavily filtered or photoshopped, or we're going to manipulate our bodies, or we're going to put Facetune out the wazoo. Men do this too. This isn't just women. This is both men and women. And we're going to put that out there. We're going to get someone on the line, reel them in, and then be like, oh, wait, I'm not attracted to you. Why do we want to hurt ourselves like that? If we are misrepresenting what we look like on dating apps, we will be hurt. And this is just my personal story of having that happen with men. Men do this too. This is not just women. But there is nothing more demoralizing than showing up to a date and being like, you don't look like your pictures. Who wants that experience? And so we do not want that for you. We do not want that for anyone in the dating scene. I really do think this is one of the reasons dating has become so aggravating, is because people are not being honest, not just with the pictures though, but with what they're actually putting on the profiles. But let me have my baby say something before we go there.
Because people don't like themselves, period. You wouldn't be putting together this like facade, this done up, this filtered, like legit filtered version of you online if you didn't actually like yourself. That's really what it comes down to.
Mm-hmm.
And so what happens is if, you say yes to this date based upon the photos, based upon what they've told you so far, and you show up and they're not that person, immediately, kind of the rest of the date, you're kind of just like hastily there.
Mm-hmm.
I've been there before. I'm just like, all right, I'm not going to leave immediately. I guess like 15 minutes, I'll find a quick way to go still. Like it's painful. And I'm there kind of more out of obligation,
Mm-hmm.
which is something that I regret doing or would not do going forward. So, and either they're actively in the dating scene, and naturally, if you get catfished, you have every right to be like, "No, this just doesn't feel right to me anymore.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave." No matter how eccentric of a date they have planned, no matter what they say after, "Give me a chance," whatever it is, like, no. We need to be, this is the 2 words that came to me in the car as we were thinking about this topic. And that is, when it comes to dating as a whole, when it comes to our online personas for that dating and then the first date, the 2 things that need to be in our mind is we need to be the most authentic version of ourselves as possible. Number 2 is we need to have fun. And if you can show that, if you can express that on your profiles, and then make that the 2 necessary things to focus on the first date, you will optimize for the most fun, of course, loving, real time possible, because those are the things you want for your forever person. And so that's the things we need to keep at the top of our mind for every day that we go on.
Mm-hmm. I just want to round out that story I told you about the engineer who was overweight. He kept commenting on it throughout the entire date. He kept saying, oh, like I'm going back into the gym. I'm really excited to lose some weight. Like I did kind of gain some weight because my job's been really stressful. He just kept bringing this up over and over again, almost looking like for a validation from me that it was okay, that it was like, no, like I find you attractive. And it put me in a really weird position. And that's why when you are holding back one crucial part of yourself or you're misrepresenting yourself, you're going to be in your own head the entire time. And you're going to be thinking in the back of your head, oh, does this person notice what I did? Because if you start off that relationship on a foot of I'm deceiving this person because I have filtered photos or I manipulated my body or my prompts are like completely not who I am at all, or I'm pretending to be into Frisbee when I'm not into Frisbee, if you're deceiving yourself at any point, you are setting yourself up for failure. And this is where I think dating has gotten so heavy and so aggravating for people because we're not being honest up front about who we are, what we're looking for, and what we find to be a good time. Also, not to mention our standards, what we want dates to feel like, the emotions we would like to feel in the dating process. So let's dive into prompts on dating apps because I think that this is another an area for opportunity. Okay. I cannot tell you the amount of profiles that I see that either are like boner killers and drive men very far away or pussy repellent that make women dry up in a flash. Okay. Let me give you some from the women's side that I would see and would be in immediate left. Okay. If you have some kind of fry cook at the Krusty Krab in your profession, take it out. Please. I'm going to cry. I'm so passionate about this one. The ick I would experience when I saw people joking about what they did professionally, especially for men. It's not funny. It's giving broke. It's giving you have no money.
Thank you.
It's giving zeros in the bank account. Okay. Please take it out. Don't try to be Mr. Funny Guy on Rogan and Friends on your dating app. We do not try, especially not in profession. Women want to see you have a job. Women want to see that. Even if it's entrepreneur, that's sexy, okay? But fry cook at the Krusty Krab, regional manager at Dunler Mifflin, no. Take it out. This is way past its prime. It was never funny. I'm just being real with you right now. We need to be honest. We need to lead with honesty. So that's number one ick. The others are like any boilerplate answer that you've seen on 400 apps. Like the goal here is to be authentic. And the only way you can be authentic is by coming up with stuff from yourself, not copying other people. So what am I talking about here? Prompts that give us nothing. Prompts that literally you read them and you're like, oh, I literally just wasted 5 seconds of my time reading the answer to this. So if a prompt is like, one way to my heart, food. No. Get that out of there. Another prompt would be, oh, wait, what? I'm sorry.
Coming up.
I'm getting PTSD thinking about this. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm fluent in sarcasm. Okay.
Stop.
You're giving us nothing.
Stop.
You're fumbling in such a profound way because you're not willing to put yourself into the prompts. And now I know nothing about you. And I also think you're so boring. Okay. So boring. So you want it to feel like someone is having a personality, or not personality, a conversation with you. They are seeing your profile as like one little fragment of your personality. If you are just copying and pasting certain prompts that you saw on TikTok one time, we're getting nowhere. And I would swipe left on what I deem to be low effort profiles because no one's having a good time. Even if you're 6'5" and super hot and good looking, or even if it was Cam, if he had fluent in sarcasm and the way to my heart is food and all the other most basic profile responses, he would have gotten a left because I just don't like low effort dudes. Like that is a massive ick. Now, what did your profile say?
Interesting.
Please tell me you didn't have that.
No, not at all.
Oh, thank God.
I think my job profession was like entrepreneur or writer or something like that.
Okay, sexy.
They're always funny,
Uh-huh.
but they were never like discrediting what I do or who I am.
Good.
You know? I would only put like languages I know sarcasm if I actually knew other languages of like Spanish, French, Mandarin, sarcasm. That'd be kind of funny.
Now that's kind of funny. But have I ever seen that? No.
No. They do it in all the wrong ways.
Terrible.
Okay. I would love for you to keep going on the men ick train you got going on the red flags.
Okay. So let me dive into the pictures. For men, we want to have a diversity of photos. Now here's some things I don't want to see. I don't want to see that you did a professional photo shoot where you took like 6 photos for a dating app. I don't want to see that. because women can tell these things. Women are very perceptive. So like that's giving a little too try hard, unfortunately, even though it's like kind of sweet in some ways. It's like you don't have friends to take photos of you. That's exactly where women's mind go. So you can have one photo on there that's like you looking your best and maybe it's a professional photo shoot. Cool. We want to see your teeth. We want to see your face in like high definition. With no shadow of a doubt, okay? We want to see the top of your head. If you have a hat in every photo, it's giving bald, okay? And so we immediately will be like, wait, what's he hiding, okay? So we need to see top of head. We need to see the teeth. We need to see the face in high definition. So that can all be accomplished in like one great photo. Now, here are the other photos. We want to see you doing something you enjoy. So this can be like rock climbing or hanging out with the boys or like windsurfing, whatever that thing is for you that makes you look like active and like you prioritize your body in some way, even if you're like sitting in the sauna or you're on the top of a mountain meditating, something that just shows that you're an active dude like out here in the world doing cool things. Okay. The next thing you want to see is a group of friends. Now, this can be like a wedding with like groomsmen. That's cute. I always love that. That means that he has friends. You want to signal to people that like you are not a loner living in a shed somewhere. You have a community of people. The next thing that I always love is a good, I call it Sigma photo. This can be you like presenting. This can you can be standing on business. Can be like a photo of you like leading a Zoom presentation or something. Something that just really shows the woman that you are about business. And there's something sexy about seeing a man presenting. Okay, so what do we have here? We have a headshot where we can see your head and your smile and your face. We have a group photo. We have you doing something active, something that you enjoy. We have you standing on business in some way that's sexy. And lastly, this can just be, oh, even better, if there's a kid, but not just taking a kid for dating app. You have to really look like you're in it with the kid. You're not just holding the kid like a potato. You're really like about it, especially if you want to be a father. Or it can be with a dog. We love that. Women love like cute thing. Oh, he's gentle. But that you have to be this guy, okay? I'm putting you on some real game. Like that profile would be the biggest super like ever. If you can combine all those things and you didn't put in mail-in prompts where you're phoning it in, you're saying fluent sarcasm, you have all those photos, plus you're showing your authentic self and you're not saying you're the fry cook at the Krusty Krab, you are getting matches, baby.
I'm so glad you're saying this because that was the exact same formula I used, like almost verbatim.
Fake.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, like, I mean, I know I'm like pretty attractive, but I was pulling in those apps.
Baby, because you
like,
get it.
Dozens of like swipe rights a day. And like, I was mind boggled to hear that some of my friends would get like 2 a week.
Did you ever look at their profiles? They look like serial killers. Every
And
time.
they're either serial killers, like one of them, they're always like holding up fish for some reason.
Put the fish down.
Like,
Put the fish down.
I love it. I love the outdoors, love the hunting, all that. You don't got to have the elk with the horns right here.
The bloody
like your
elk.
father right here, your uncle. Right, like, that doesn't scream, we're going to have some fun, authentic, you can take care of me in a very not psychopath way.
Put the
I have
dead
the photos. Would you
down.
like to see my dating app photos?
I would love.
I'm gonna see. Okay, so this was the first one. I will show the camera in a second.
Okay.
I'll show probably my camera.
Okay, headshot. It's exactly what I said. First photo, baby.
Okay, you'll see that.
Sexy.
That was a good one. Shows the entire body. I don't know if you can hear me. Second one.
Second one.
College graduation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Diploma, got my shit together.
Mm-hmm.
I had like a third one that was me and 2 friends looking really good. They saw I was tall. My friend's like 6 foot. They can saw I was taller than that.
Smart.
Fourth one, adventurous. This is me on a field of cows in Gili Island in Indonesia with just like a backwards hat and flip-flops on.
Looking like Himothy.
And then I think the last one was me and Zoe, my dog from back home, and just smiling really big. Like
to a T.
I don't know if you heard me through that whole thing, but almost to a T of what she said. And I swear to you, that pulled in every continent I was in.
He's pulling in every area code.
Tell me to put you like
Because that was crazy for real. But because he followed the formula, okay? And this is just coming off the top of my head. Like, we are full of these tricks, baby. Yeah. And so, baby, tell me about what you like to see in women. What women profiles really got your goat?
Okay. First, I'll tell you what not to do. Women, if you look like a hoe, you're going to attract a pimp. What are we not getting here? What are we not getting?
Can you break down what's a hoe looking like?
Now listen, I'm pretty based, let's put it that way. And I understand freedom of expression, of you being you to the fullest extent. There's also a certain point of skin you can show where it just, I swear to you, and Andrew Tate had this joke, but you can look at a woman and go, "Ho, she's a hoe." Mm-hmm. I swear to you, on these Tinder pages, just like the energy one gives of like, "Hey, I'm trying to pipe," women do that too. There are certain outfits they will show themselves in, a certain facial expression, a certain thing that are attracting a certain type of man. And maybe they're getting exactly what they want. If they want to sleep with as many guys as they want to, go right ahead. You're going to get a laundry list of men that want that and will take you up on that offer. But if you want a high value man, which I believe especially for my age, I've always been, especially in these apps, that was like, nope, not happen. Too much of that, you're done. Now, I'm not expecting you to dress like you're in the Amish. There's a middle ground here, and you know the middle ground. Mm-hmm. We all know what we're signaling, what we're signifying with the outfits we wear. And to be very clear with how your eyes looking into that camera, if it's looking like, sexualized or just normal, hey, I'm doing well, whatever's going on, be aware of that. And also just outfits you wear are very, very important. It's constantly signifying, especially men that are visual creatures, exactly what you want from their relationship. And so if you genuinely want someone who's going to be with you for a long time, make sure that you are wearing things that promote that you're wifey material. Mm-hmm. Not saying Amish. People are like, well, you want me to dress this way, not conceal. No. This outfit like this, perfect. And this is quite conservative too. Yeah. And like, this is very conservative. Like, it can be even less conservative than this and be completely fine. But there's a level of which it turns off all high value men. If you are acting like a hoe, that is repellent for high value men.
Even if you just look like a hoe.
Yeah.
So I think this is really important because I'll bring myself into this for a moment. My dating app, and I'll have you go through exactly what you'd like to see. When it came to clothing, you can't see because I dress to play down my shape quite a bit, but I've got a lot going on in the curve department.
Don't I know it? Hey,
you're crazy for real.
Don't I know it?
Hey, listen, it's hard to dress for an hourglass figure that has bajongas going on in every direction, okay?
Hey, you pull it off.
Thank you. It is no easy feat. And so I just want you to know, if you're out there and you feel like me, I see you. And I also feel like there is a way to present, like, I never wanted men to not know what I had going on in my body, because that's something you either are into or you're not. Now, I think the men who have taste are into it, but it's just me. Okay. But in the dating apps, I would put photos that showed my full body in a way that was tasteful, because I'm not trying to deceive anybody. And I'm not trying to only put photos of my face and then I show up to a date and this guy's expecting this like petite women with no curves and then I show up. I'm not trying to put myself in a position where I could mislead somebody. So I just want to emphasize that from what Cam said is like, there is a way you can show your goods and what you got without having them spilling out everywhere.
Most definitely. And again, you can feel it. Like, our bodies are part of us and it's a part of us that I love to embrace. I'm glad that you embrace. I implore all to embrace the body we've been given. Of course, to take care of it to the highest extent that we can. There's also a level which we understand just through societal conditioning that we can signify our bodies in a certain way that would help us get what we want.
Mm-hmm.
And I see a lot of women who don't want a man that will treat her as an object, but then go out and act like objects on these social media platforms.
Mm.
And like, you're like, what are you expecting here?
Yeah.
And so the women I was looking for, I want to see, of course, that I'm not expecting her to look like a nun by any means. It's good to have an objective understanding of how this woman looks. And also, I want to see that she is kind and friendly. I guess they're kind of the same thing, but those are important to me. I want to see they have a friend group. A lot of women struggle with having friends. I want to see that they have a friend group of people that also look welcoming and loving and kind, knowing that one day soon I'll probably be having lunch or dinner with these women, or drinks or whatever it was in the past. And so it's like, I want to make sure they have a community of people that they like, if possible. One thing I do not like, and I don't think a lot of men really care about this as much as women may think, is that women put their entire LinkedIn resume on their Tinder. You know, Yale grad, this year at this company, does this, is this and that. Men don't care about that. I hate to break it to you. I really do. I'm very proud and impressed that you have, quote unquote, made something of yourself in your definition. That's great. But to a high value man, we do not care. We would like for women to be very intelligent, very open-minded, very kind. And we also know, at least I knew, that doesn't matter if they got a Harvard PhD or a high school diploma. That can happen in many different ways. And there is no need to assert, I'm smarter than you, or I'm doing better than you, or anything that would imply that. Pussy repellent. Or not pussy repellent. Would it be the boner killer? 100%. Men don't want to go on a date feeling as if they're going to need to be at a intellectual sparring match with you or a competition. That's not what any man on this planet wants. Men generally want someone that'll make them feel more calm, more loved, and more taken care of. I'm not saying you got to stay home and cook all day and not work your job or do anything. That's not it at all. I encourage, and I've married someone or I'm about to marry someone that is not that at all. She is very ambitious, incredibly intelligent, probably more intelligent than I am, a lot more, just has all the skills I could ever ask for in a partner. And she was able to show me that without leading from the front with it. I was able to learn that over time with her. After this one conversation, you can kind of tell her intelligence, but she wasn't pushing it upon me. So being very understanding that what high value men want is for a woman to feel as if she's going to be kind, feel as if she's going to be fun, loving, respectful, open-minded. And that is what men want. And if you can answer the questions on the Tinder profile, if you could just curate and have it be, of course, you authentically. If it's not, then, communicate who you are, and we'll see how that goes in the marketplace. The marketplace will decide if you have men lining up your door or not. But if you are really about that life of those attributes I just listed, do your best to curate your profile to match that. And if you do that, you will, I guarantee, have no problem at all. You probably have less men swipe right on you because it's going to be a lot less of the ones that are just simply after the ass and titties, and a lot more after actually men that are looking for their wife. And so I never saw your social media profile, but that is what I was deeply yearning to find. And it's very, very difficult to find on those apps. But if you can do that properly, you're golden, you're set.
Yeah, I love that. I also think one thing that I have run into so many times with women on the walks, women that I've coached on love, is that they feel like if they don't lead with their smarts, intelligence, or accomplishments, that men aren't going to know that they have all of these things and that they're going to be intimidated by them once they learn them and then run away. It's actually the opposite. So like Cam said, the most secure woman, and I had to learn this personally, is somebody who understands that she is valuable for existing and just for the energy she brings to everyone she meets in every space she walks into. That is security for women. That is what women who feel safe in their bodies show up as. Now, when you have a wound around being seen, around being safe, around being enough, you will lead with all of your accomplishments, like I used to do. I will lead with my intelligence. I will tell myself stories that if I don't lead with my intelligence, then men aren't going to respect me and they're not going to understand who they have on their hands, and they're not going to understand that I am incredibly smart and accomplished and they have to know who they're dealing with. That energy is repellent in the beginning of dating. And you can have a relationship where you as a woman are honored fully for being very intelligent and very loving. You don't have to choose one or the other. You don't have to choose, I'm going to lead with my intelligence and then they're going to find out how loving I am. Flip it. We can flip this, because what we have to understand about men and women, especially in early dating, is that women have gotten into this overbalanced masculine energy, this yang energy of I need to show you all the things I'm doing, all the projects I'm accomplishing, all of the businesses I've started, my degrees, where I've worked, my entire resume on my dating apps. I've got to word vomit all these things that make me enough to the person sitting across from me, to the man across from me, so that he knows who he's dealing with. When you do that, you are overbalanced in the masculine energy, who is valuable for what he does, accomplishes, and achieves. And you are downplaying the juiciest energy that you have, which is simply feeling enough for who you are, for your energy, for your personality, for the amount of love that you pour into yourself and others, for your smile, for your beauty, for your radiance, for just existing. And I understand that you could be hearing this and thinking, oh, so resistant to it, and it's so against what you've heard, and I don't want to dim my sparkle, I don't want to dim my intelligence. Trust me, I've been in that exact way of thinking years ago, but I'm here to encourage you, to invite you to stretch this thought just a little bit. I want to encourage you to flip what you've been doing. Instead of leading with your intelligence, with your smarts, with going on dates and talking at a man about all the things you've accomplished for 6 hours and then being ghosted, okay? What if we were to flip the script and say the most secure version of me as a woman is to know that my value lies in my existence, in the very fact that I am here, and I show up and he can ask. He can ask the questions. If he wants to know more about me, I'm an open book. I'm not going to hide anything, but I'm not going to shove it down his throat. I am going to sit there and just be enough. Be my happy self. Have my full cup expressed in my energy. And then the man says, oh, so did you go to college? Oh yeah, actually I went to Harvard. Wow, what a surprise that the man asked for. So if you understand this dynamic and you understand the natural polarity and the push and pull, this is what makes attraction happen. This ebb and flow of a masculine and feminine energy within a relationship is what makes men want to show up, want to ask questions, want to do for you, want to serve you. It is the imbalance of this masculine, feminine energy within relationships that is making men feel like they're dating men. And that's just the reality.
Can I please go off on this for a
Go
second?
ahead.
Okay.
Take away.
You never had to tell me your intelligence and competence. I can just feel it. This is what people don't understand because they're so insecure, so self-conscious, and therefore they overcompensate by telling everyone they meet their entire resume. They'll find a way to tell the person that's in front of them in the grocery store that they went to Harvard. Mm-hmm. No one actually cares. Mm-hmm. No one actually gives a shit. And people believe that they are a byproduct of the school they went to, of the business they started. That is bullshit. That is matrix programming. Your degree, the business you started, is a byproduct of you. And you're intelligent, kind, competent version of yourself that is you will be known and will be felt by everyone in your presence. She can't say a single sentence to me without me understanding she's very intelligent. Of course, it's projected in the words that she says and also the vibe she gives off. And the true test that men can feel very easily, and same as women. Women actually probably better at this. We can feel competence by someone's confidence. And so you think, I went to Harvard, I went this, I went that, but your neediness to insert this and say this, immediately when I had this in the past with dating other women, I'm like, oh, okay, they're deeply insecure. And they got those diplomas, they got those jobs to prove to others that they're finally worthy of love, that they're finally enough. I knew immediately, red flag. I'm like, immediately in their head, it's done. Like, you're not my person, 100%. That's not going to happen. And so the energy behind how you tell these stories says it all. And someone who is a high value man, someone's a high value woman, we can sniff that out immediately, the true intentions behind what you're saying. So all we're saying is that, like, you're good exactly how you are. You showing up to the first date without telling them all the great things you've done, it's okay. The person that is meant to love you forever will love you for how you are. Whether you're just telling the funny story of that thing that happened to you in high school, that make them both laugh, make you both, and he resonates with something, he goes off and does his high school things. No matter what happened after high school, what college you went to, or what amazing businesses you started, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's the vibe you're giving off, the person's feeding up on, and that needy energy that I need to prove something to you that I'm worthy. Don't think you can walk out. That is the pussy repellent. That is the boner killer. And so really just, again, the two words we talked about in the beginning of this, when it comes to priming yourself for dating, when it comes to the actual dating app experience, when it comes to the first date, and then the handful of dates that follow, the two things to keep in mind is full authenticity, which means you're not having to prove anything to anyone. It's being yourself in all moments, speaking your truth in all moments. And number two is just have fun. For men, the biggest thing I say is try to make the girl laugh. Try to make the girl have a fun time. That is all you got to do. That's all you got to do. You will stand out. You'll be remembered. And if it turns out to be something great, if not, they have nothing but great things to say about you. And maybe their friend is your person, because that's happened millions of times before. And so just keeping top of mind that, like, it's important to make sure that you put yourself out there, right? You signal to the world, hey, I'm open to finding my person, to attracting my person. That's huge. And you signify to the universe, just like manifestation, not by just sitting on your couch all day, but I'm open. They can come into my apartment and sit right here next to me whenever they're ready. That's just not going to happen. You declare to the world you're open, and then life will show you where to go, what to do. And all those things will be something you deeply, deeply enjoy. Going to the library, going to the bookstore, going to the coffee shop, going to this club, going to this, going to that. And you'll just be living your life, and naturally the right people will come. And we curate a profile that is as authentic as possible, that deeply resembles the life you're actually living. And that is how you'll find your person. Faking your profile is only going to lead to other fake people. Mm-hmm. It's that simple. What you are is what you will attract. So all that being said, you are the answer. Dating is not terrible. Dating is not a struggle if you're just you. It's the facade that both sides are playing that causes all this friction, that causes all these problems. But if you're just you, and you are fully expressing, embodying, hey, 5 minutes in the day, this ain't it. Catfish is not really my type, kind of gives me a weird vibe. I'm going to head out. Great. It's going to lead to a lot less horror stories, which you guys have actually been, that's a whole other thing, but there is something to the drama that keeps you going in those situations that aren't actually what's best for you, knowing that it's going to lead to a dumpster fire story to tell to your friends to complain about over drinks in a week, so you guys can all go in a circle telling your horror stories. That's also existing, and that's a completely different topic for a different time. But we got to realize that that's actually not what's best for highest growth. If we want to date, we're going to date properly. We're going to have boundaries of what feels right for us and what doesn't. We're going to be authentic. And most importantly, we're going to have fun while doing it.
I love it. I'll leave you with one last tip. We could talk about this for a very long time and probably will. When you put together a dating app profile, show it to people who make you feel really good about yourself and feel like they know you deeply, and ask them, is this an accurate representation of me? Does this feel like me? Every time I ask to see people's dating app profiles, whether it's clients or friends, it never feels like them at all. We all have a blind spot with explaining ourselves and presenting ourselves, and allow people, and it's a little vulnerable showing people your profile, but allow people to help you. You may be picking the worst photos of yourself ever that you think are the best, or photos that you think are funny actually make you look like a psycho. Let people help you. Let people who you trust and who you love help you in this process. Or send it to us. We'd love to see your review.
This is what we're going to do. So in both of our respective communities that we have, True Brotherhood and True Love Club that we're creating, there's going to be a section for members of the community to drop in the photos and prompts of their profile. And then myself look at them personally. I'll look at them. And if for True Love Club, if you want a divine, high value man's perspective, I will tell you the tweaks, and I'll be super authentic and super real with you. And she'll do the same for my guys, do the same thing. But we are going to create a community where it's not, hey mom, does this look good? Yeah, look good, sweetie. You're against like people your age. You're with them, and they'll be authentic and real with you in the most loving hype man type way possible, hype woman type way.
Absolutely.
And so that's just one of the little fun things to know we're going to be doing in our communities, that it will dramatically shift people's experience in these apps. We'll just tell them to be real and authentic and make sure they follow through on it.
If it feels like you, it will work, because then someone will meet you and be like, you're exactly like how I imagined it. I got that comment so many times from men. They'd be like, you're exactly how you were on your profile. I'm like, thank you. That's a great compliment.
That's awesome.
Because I really wanted to put myself into it. So anyway, we could continue on this for a long time, but we hope that this gave you a little spark of joy, love, and light and excitement on your dating journey. We love you so much. Thank you for being here. And if you could take a little moment to drop a comment, drop a rating for our show, drop a like, and watch any of our other episodes, or send it to a friend who you think could really use this, we would be so, so grateful for that. Every little step along this journey is so helpful. Every little comment, every little like. So thank you for being here with us. We love you so, so much, and we cannot wait to see you next week.
Love y'all.
Love y'all. Bye, guys.